You know, Ivan, my dad asked me the other day, how do I clean my bike?
And in this video, we're gonna show him. Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. Today we got this beautiful specimen of a Harley Davidson in here, and it just came back from a 4,000 mile road trip. So you can imagine that there's a few insects on the front of it. It's got a bit of wetness on there, it drove through rain. He went on a real road trip with this bike, so
yeah, we've got some video shots of how dirty this is. Now, we know how to clean cars, but there may be parts that are areas you should be really careful around. There may be a motorcycle owner who just got this. It's emotional. It's very, very awesome that they have this, and now they want to take care of it.
Right.
What do they do?
Well, first of all, your motorcycle is actually designed to be driven through the rain, meaning that it's not that sensitive to water. A lot of people are afraid to put water on it. And if you have the bike that's all chromed out, yeah, you might want to be a little cautious with water. But in this video, we're actually going to be using a foam cannon and a pressure washer. Now, there are a few things on here that aren't factory. And this air cleaner is an oil bath air cleaner. So the fabric that's in here is actually embedded with oil. So we're not going to get this wet. We're going to wrap it in a towel. Even if there was a bit of water on it, it's not a big deal, but we're not hitting it with the pressure washer. So that is the only sensitive area on this particular motorcycle. And obviously the helmet. We're not gonna leave the helmet on it to wash it.
So this guy, there's a lot of bugs on this thing.
Right, a lot of bugs. He did a great job collecting them for us. We're going to liberate him of that collection. We're gonna be using All Clean, our all-purpose cleaner. It's pre-diluted, ready to use for exterior use, and this is exterior use. So off we go. We're gonna be pre-spraying the areas, letting it dwell for a little bit, but not letting it dry. And then from there, we'll cover up that air cleaner and foam the bike.
And one thing, if you're working in direct sunlight, let common sense dictate how you wash your bike. You really don't want to let things dry in direct sunlight. You want to work in very small areas, even on a bike, which is, when we talk about cars, we say panel by panel in sunlight. This is like a panel, but just more careful is better when it comes to direct hot sunlight. That just is Mother Nature, nothing to do with our chemical.
We've also made sure this has been sitting for a couple hours. The engine is cool, the paint is cool. We're not dealing with any heat anywhere.
And Ivan, folks may even wonder, am I dealing with surfaces that I have on a car? Clear-coated paint, for example.
Yeah, we have clear-coated paint. We have, actually no chrome on this one, but a few little chrome bits. But we have chrome that we're dealing with, a lot less plastic than on the car. One thing that we do have is the crinkle finish on the engine, and that is a little more difficult to get clean at the end. So we're actually gonna be rinsing this at the end with deionized water, so we won't have to worry about water drips. Of course, we're gonna get the wheels and tires. One thing that some people may not know, you never put tire dressing on a motorcycle tire.
Now you've got an IK foamer, same dilution. Tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, basically I'm just adding a little bit more dwell time by having the foam. So it'll allow us to get in there a little more, because like I said, this bike has had a 4,000 mile trip. It's looking a little worse for wear.
Are there any areas you're avoiding with that foam?
I'm avoiding, like we mentioned before, the air cleaner, and that's it. And I actually want to do the front of the handlebars here because they're as covered as the rest of the bike. Now we're gonna cover up the air cleaner. We're gonna use something a little different to do so. And that is our drip catcher towel. So with its magnets, it just happens to go on there and it'll stay there perfectly.
Yeah, the drip catcher towel is fantastic when you use a hose to wash your vehicle and you're done washing and the drips come down from the side mirrors, but it has many uses.
Yeah. There we go. Now, time for the foam cannon. We've got 31 ounces of water in here. We're gonna add 1 ounce of Incredible Suds. Luckily, we have a nice little scale on the side, so we don't have to guess on the measurement.
Yeah, otherwise the cap here on our bottles is half an ounce. So
exactly.
Capfuls, but
with the thickness of Incredible Suds, it's sort of hard to use the cap. And just a little more, there you go. Now once you put it in your foam cannon, we have to mix it up. We're just gonna screw the lid on here.
And we've done videos on pressure washing and foam cannons. I'm gonna put a link above. If you're curious, what pressure washer should I buy? Is there a best foam cannon? Is there a way to optimize foam in my pressure washer with the foam cannon? We dive into all this, so you can go do the rabbit hole thing there.
Exactly.
Meantime, we're gonna be doing our thing here.
Yeah. So, give you this. Now I'm gonna get out of the way while Nick foams the bike.
And the only thing I'm really gonna try to avoid, even with the towel there, is that area.
Exactly.
Doesn't that just look amazing? Ooh. More foam than we need, but foam is fun. Yeah, I'll just get in there. Just because I want to.
Want to get under that, in that wheel a little more.
Yep.
Now we want to be really safe, and we had a lot of accumulation on this, so we're going to pressure wash it and foam it again before the contact wash.
Okay.
So we're going to let this foam dwell, it's going to do its thing, it's going to pull down those insects and that dirt from riding in the rain, and then we'll get it one more time foamed up, and with our wash mitt, some brushes on the wheels, we'll get it all cleaned up, and then we'll go with quick beads and rinse it off.
Yeah, the emulsification is happening as we speak. Every time a bubble of foam bursts, it actually continues to clean. It's emulsifying the dirt, pulling it down for you so that when we hit it with the pressure washer, a lot of that's gonna come off before we even introduce any potential scratch risk, which is always inherent in the contact wash. And that's why we're doing all these steps before we use a wash mitt.
Exactly. So, change the tip and away we go.
All right. We foamed.
Yep.
We've pressure washed. Now we're gonna foam one more time.
We're gonna foam one more time. We're gonna do a mild contact wash. We know where the areas that had a lot of accumulation, we're gonna go over those. We're gonna brush the wheels a little bit with our wheel and body brush and that fine little brush that you like to use, and then rinse it off one more time with quick beads to give it that protection. But then after that, we won't be drying it with a towel. We'll be drying it with water and a leaf blower. Next step, take the suds off with a pressure washer. Good job, Nick.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with the hose, you know, I press the button,
Yeah, exactly.
press the trigger,
Exactly.
water comes out, rinse
Right.
suds off. That's pretty simple.
Right. So now we're going to apply quick beads to the bike and rinse it off again.
This is so easy. It's gonna make the paint bead up. It's gonna add slickness. It's my favorite product in the line.
One of them.
One of them.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
Exactly. So quick beads, always want to shake it up.
It's got graphene in there.
Exactly. And we don't want to put it on the seat. You don't need a lot, you just need it on there.
And this is water activated. So you spray it on a wet panel, in this case, obviously the motorcycle. And then when you rinse it off, you're gonna see those beads immediately. I think quick beads kind of tells the story right there. And one other thing about quick beads that I really think is important, if you're in direct sunlight on a windy day, you notice how Ivan's doing this wide fan, that mist? It's just gonna get away from you in the wind. So you're gonna wanna go for a tighter nozzle if you have a little bit less control with the elements. But we're in a controlled garage, so that mist kind of finally sprays over the surface Ivan is targeting.
Yeah, and from there, we rinse it off again. Now, quick beads, we're not actually rinsing it off the surface, we're activating it with the pressure hose. So you can use a garden hose or you can use the pressure sprayer. We'll use the pressure sprayer. And you actually want to go sort of bottom up. because you don't want to rinse it off. You want to activate it with the pressure washer.
You're getting the most out of the product by activating it and bringing it up the surface as opposed to just like, whoop, see you later.
Flushing it off.
Yep.
Now, Nick, this is the point in the story where we normally get out our drying towel.
Yeah, and you could get out your drying towel, but why make it more difficult than it has to be?
Exactly. So we're using deionized water. Now, if you don't have a deionizer system or RO system at home, there's a very easy way of doing it.
It's a gallon of distilled water. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it at your local drugstore, whatever, grocery store.
Yep.
Now you could either pour the jug over, and that's just to prevent any potential water spots, or you could put it in a sprayer and sort of mist it on there. And then what's happening after I mist it on, Ivan?
Basically, we're gonna dry it with either a leaf blower or actually the Master Blaster would be a better tool for this. So we'll be using our Master Blaster for this one. But the RO water, what it's doing is preventing water spots. So it's removing, we have some minerals left on the surface, it's taking those minerals away, replacing them just with pure water. And even if we didn't dry it from this point, just let it sit here and air dry, it would be fine. We wouldn't have any water spots. But we're not that kind of person. We're actually gonna dry it.
So you've Master Blastered, it's air drying. You might get a couple of drips in the next 2 hours, whatever. This is ready to rock and roll.
Right, and if you like riding your bike, well, put your helmet on, fire it up, and get rid of those drips the natural way, by riding.
The natural way, I like that. But if you're like, I just want to take this one step further, grab a plush towel, a couple sprays of ceramic gloss, and you can just buff to a nice shinier shine. It's so slick already from the quick beads. Ceramic gloss is our ceramic detail spray. Just adds a little bit more pop. Might help you get any of those water drops that aren't gonna etch into your paint, but you know, just that final buff. So you could either do the touchless method or the Nick OCD method.
Yep.
And go to town.
So if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, please leave them below. We're always happy to answer. We love your comments and questions. And you can always get a hold of us at nick@diydetail.com.